Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be a tutorial about Lightroom and specifically how to use Lightroom Presets. If you've been on Instagram for the past few years, you know that selling presets has been the custard to any influencer's financial situation. But I think that a lot of people, when they decide to spend money on these presets, they end up getting pretty disappointed. And the reason is that not all presets work for all photos. There are ways that you can adjust the settings in RAW and still take advantage of the look of the preset, but make them work for your photos, and that's what I'm going to show you today. The most important thing that will determine how the preset will look on your photo is how the photo was shot in the first place. I personally like to shoot a little bit underexposed when I'm shooting digital, because if you overexpose something with a digital camera, that information will be completely lost. So if you look at this photo here, you see there's still a little bit of information in the sky here. However, if this had been shot like this, so that this was overexposed, it wouldn't be possible to get any information back. That's just a quick tip. So I always underexpose a little bit. So if you look here, I have 3 different presets here in my Lightroom. So I created one which I call Analog Love because I'm cheesy and I like analog film look. If I select that now, you see that the photo is yellow, maybe a little bit lost information here in the shadows. There's a few things that you can really adjust a lot on when it comes to RAW photos. One thing is the exposure, shadow and highlights, and the third thing is temperature. And those 3 things will really determine how the preset will look on your photo. I think the look of this photo now is way too yellow, so if I bring the temperature down, you can see the different looks here. Here it's completely different look, obviously that's too much, but here I think it looks really good. Also, you see here blacks are brought up. If you want that analog look, you don't want the blacks to be too hard, so I brought them up a little bit. I also flatten out the image a bit by bringing down the highlights and up the shadows. But I think this photo looks good now. Even though the preset didn't look good in the beginning, just those small adjustments can make it work. If I then try to put on another preset, here you see the colors and the exposure and everything looks a bit strange again. And this is the experience that a lot of people have when they're buying these preset packs. They see this and they get very disappointed with the results. But here I can adjust, again, up the exposure. I can bring up the shadows even a little bit more. Oh, that's too much here. And I can also adjust, if I want more contrast, I can bring the blacks back in. And finally, small adjustments to temperature can make a huge difference. Another thing with presets is that there's colors adjustments. That's why the color mixer in Lightroom is very important if you're using presets. If you go down here, you can see the different colors and you can see what changes have been made to create this color profile. If I, for example, if I want to make myself look a bit more tan, I can go into orange and make the oranges darker, or reds. All this just depends on your skin tone. I really like the look of the photo now. I didn't like how it looked when I first put the preset on, but this just shows that you have to make small adjustments to make it work. A preset is just a starting point. It's not something you just smack on a photo and make it good, because as I said, all presets are not going to work for all photos, so you really have to learn to make adjustments. The last preset here is a black and white. I feel like black and white photography isn't getting the attention that it deserves these days. I still love black and white photography, and as I said, I like the analog look. That's why this is a bit grainy, washed out. But this, when I first add this now, you can't see that much information in it, but if I add up the exposure a bit, add up the shadows, I kind of like it a bit more contrasty when it's black and white. Even with black and white photos, adjusting the temperature will create a different look in your photos. If I go all the way to cooler here, you see it changes. Small adjustments make a huge difference when it comes to the use of presets. I'm going to go through one more photo example. This is a picture I shot in Cambodia. If I add my first preset here, I personally think it looks a bit washed out. It's too yellow. I don't really like the look of it. I will bring down the exposure a bit here. Temperature can be a bit cooler. And I personally think we can adjust the colors a little bit here. Obviously, a lot of this also comes down to taste. But if I try another preset on this photo, this preset works much better on this photo than the previous one. And this also goes to show that not all presets work on all photos. So try a few different ones and see what works for you and make adjustments. And then hopefully you'll end up with a result you like. To give you guys something to practice with, I'm going to give away these 3 presets for free. To give you guys something to practice with, I'm going to give away these presets for free. I'm going to put a link in the description. You can go download them right now and add them to Lightroom or to Camera Raw if you like to use that instead. And you can try to use them on your photos and try to use these small adjustments. I have a bunch more presets that I've made that I'll be happy to give away. If this is something you guys are interested in, just let me know in the comments, and I'll try to get another video out with even more presets. I'd love to see how you use these presets. So if you post anything on Instagram, please tag me in it or send it to me in a message or whatever. Just let me know. I'd love to see how you use it. I have a bunch more presets that I made and that I use in my own editing process. And if this is something you guys are interested in, just put it in the comments, and I'll consider putting together a whole package and give it away to you guys. I hope you like this video. I'll be uploading a lot more tutorials, so don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button, leave a comment, whatever, and I'll see you next time.